It's your girl Naya, aka Princess Naya, and I'm back. Yes, we here. It is Tired Ass Month presents Can I Take a Shit in Peace? And today's guest is none other than the most fabulous bestie of mine, Daniella Dawkins.
Oh my God, hi!
And the crowd screams.
Ooh, come on, na, 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 na.
Thank you so much for joining me
My
today,
pleasure.
Dan.
Thank you for inviting me.
We have a very unique journey of friendship
Yeah.
because I was, in fact, your best friend's best friend. And when I met
bit
you,
techie,
it was a
isn't
bit
it?
techie. And when I met you, you said, she's my best friend. And I know you're in school with her, but she's my best friend first, and you can be her best friend second. And now we're best friends.
We're best friends!
Nobody else might ever find out funny.
Do you know what song just sprang to mind? Even though you're... No, that's a different song, but it's like, even though you're my best friend's best friend.
You're such a moron.
I know, sorry.
Anyway, guys, we're here. We're back in the hot seat. And today's guest, Daniella, is very special because she was a mum way before me. And I think watching her be a mum and being an amazing creative body that she is, I really found a new level of respect for you once I had Kizzy, because I never imagined how hard it is to be a mum anyway, but to continue the pursuit of personal dreams and being your best version of your best self all at the same time as just dropping basically the biggest shit of your life. And yeah, so I don't know if I've ever said that to you, but your journey is very, very, very inspiring. I remember when we first started working together, and you'd have Kay and he'd be in like a buggy and you'd come to the office and put in shifts. And I don't think I appreciated the effort that you actually go through as a mum, taking your kids somewhere and doing work while you're there. And you've done that on more than one occasion over the last decade. So if I have never said it to you before, take your flowers, because it's an amazing gift. Anyway, we're gonna get into business, and what we're gonna do is you're gonna take the cup. This is the drinks. This is gonna set the tone. Set the tone for the podcast. What do they call it? The pod.
Okay,
Set the tone for the pod, right? And in this glass is little scrolls, and they've got different drinks on them. And whatever one you pull out is the one that we're going to have to drink. So it's going to set the tone, so put a good one out. Do you want me to tell you what the drinks are?
Yeah.
You got, one is a shot of vodka. One is a glass of Prosecco, bit more bougie. And then we got a coffee.
Okay.
Because you know I do love a coffee.
I'm manifesting.
I know what you're manifesting. It has to be the coffee.
What? Fuck that shit. I've got
So
two kids to deal
hold
with.
the glass in case we need to go again, because I can see where this is going already.
Take a shot. Is
Okay.
that a shot of Prosecco?
No, it's a shot of vodka. Okay, so we're going to take a shot. I think we'll take a shot and let's have a glass of Prosecco anyway. How do you feel about that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Here you go, Shema, you can take that.
Because it's been a long 15 years.
But we're going to have a glass of Prosecco as well. Do you know what I mean? It's been a long day.
It's been a long 15 years.
Is it 15 years? You're giving the ages away, babes.
I know.
Giving ages away. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, true.
Right, so
You
anyway,
guys keep it
we're getting
12.
brutal today, Dan. We're getting brutal, and I
I'm
want to talk to you. I'm going to
nervous.
ask you some questions to
Okay.
evoke some serious insight into what it takes to find yourself as you get older, and also carry on being a mum at the same time.
Okay.
So a few years ago, this is when we used to have the office in Bond Street. I remember you said, you're going away. You want to go away? You want to go by yourself. Bear in mind, you've got 2 kids at this point.
Yeah.
I want to go away by myself. And not only do you want to go by yourself, you wanted to go to Bali.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, okay, I didn't really get it. Like, why Bali of all places? Because you can go away on your own, but Bali, so far, it's like not the cheapest of places to go. But you had your heart set on it. Talk to us a little bit about the choice, the reason why you wanted to go to Bali, and the impact that it had on you. Okay, we're going to do the shot now.
Jeez, this might get loose lips, sink ships.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Cheers.
Eyes.
Why have we done this? Okay, all right, let's just quickly.
I feel like we should.
Guys, for those of you who are not watching and listening, we are now going for Prosecco.
I mean, if you're gonna go,
If you're
no,
gonna
sorry, I
go-
didn't look in your eyes, and I can't afford not to.
Oh my God, yeah, you can't.
I can't.
You can't afford it. So talk to us about Bali. Why? Why Bali?
Oh, hang on. What I want to say is, if you're gonna go away from your kids, you might as well get as far away as you can. But initially, the intention wasn't to go solo.
Okay.
I was going in a group, but as the trip was getting closer and closer, I didn't have the money to pay for the trip and stay where everyone was staying with all the excursions and everything. So I kind of had to put on my big girl panties and think for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I'm just like, let me know what I need to do and I'll do it. So this was like, wow, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm literally going to go out into the world. And this sounds weird coming from a grown-ass woman who has 2 children, but I'm just going to go and do it. I'm just going to do it because how bad can it be? So I kind of went online and I researched Bali. And I also, one thing that I think is very important is that I had to research Black women in Bali.
Okay.
Because it was like, I'm not only just a woman going traveling alone, I'm a Black woman.
Didn't even think of that, but yeah.
Yeah, it was important. And I watched Black girls on YouTube, their videos, and they said they felt safe. It was, you know, and everyone's experience is different because it's not necessarily even the people in Bali, it's also the other people, other travelers that are there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it came to it. I booked my first appointment, my first accommodation and my last accommodation, and was like, let's go. I had nothing booked in between. My first I knew where I was staying for the first 3 days and the last 3 days of my holiday. And it was the best thing I could have done.
Okay, so
for myself.
Okay, so all right, so you've booked your tickets. You know you're staying at the beginning. You know you're staying at the end. It's the day that you're going, and you're saying bye to the kids. How does it feel?
Amazing.
You're running away from them.
I was scared, and I was scared and apprehensive. But at the same time, I felt like I had to take myself out of that. They're with their dad.
Yeah, yeah. And I think sometimes mums don't just say, do you know what? They are with their dad and it's okay. He's responsible. He's doing it. So I shouldn't have to worry in these moments. But most women still do.
Do you know how many women? It was so funny because I'd take Callie to school and I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to Bali. They're like, what? And I'm like, for 2 weeks. They're like, what? I could never. I wish I could do that. Their dad just wouldn't even cope. And I said, you haven't even given him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't, as women, we don't. Like,
I think
it's
really important that you touched on that, to be honest, because I think that, like, especially for me, I'm an organizer. You know, I'm the one that's planning this. Let's go here. We'll organize this. So I assume that a role in my life with my friends. So I assume that role with my daughter. But it's not to say that her dad can't do it. And I think that what happens to me is I like things done my own way. Yeah. So like I was preparing her lunchbox, and she has carrots and cucumbers, and I cut them up in a certain way. And then I think one day, I think it's because I was suffering with my migraines, I couldn't do the lunch that he was doing. And I come down and I see what he's doing. I'm thinking, what is he doing? He's cutting, it's the next thing he was doing. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, I'm cringing, like, that's not how I do it. She ain't going to eat that. Anyway, I couldn't physically get involved at that point. There was too much going on, heads pounding. After school, kids come home, check their lunchbox, waxed off everything. And then it made me realise, oh, okay, it's all right for it to be different. Yeah. She's still eating. Yeah. She's still getting the food. It's not in the way I want it. However, I have to be able to, like, compromise here. Because why should I do it? Why should I do it? Why should he do it my way when she eats it his way? Yeah. Why doesn't he say to me then, nah, you don't do it like that. Do it like this. Because if he said that to me, I'd be like, no, excuse me.
Shut your mouth.
No, I'll be like, nah, this is my thing. Yeah. So, but at the same time, maybe there does need to be that level of respect and compromise and willing to trust that they're going to get on with it. And there will be mistakes. Yeah, there will be. But that's okay.
But do you know what it is? Kids, they're assholes. And they will play you. They know that dad has his way. This is that way and this is that way. Like, I can act like this at nanny's house. I can act like this at mummy's house. Like, they play up. So they'll do it. If this is how dad is serving it, I'm just going to have it this way. Like, it's not mum's way. And so, secretly, sometimes they might even prefer dad's way. They will never say.
They will never say it. Yeah, it's very, very true.
I'll smack you. What do you mean? What? Or go to your dad then, innit? Don't ask me again.
They do not want that. So, okay, so it's the day that you're leaving. Yeah. You're flying to Bali. You've got all your backpack stuff. I'm very nervous. I'm like, send me everything. Yeah. I think I had copies of the flights, the first accommodation.
Yeah.
I said, send your location when you're going anywhere with
Yeah.
anyone so I can see where you are. And then you go. And what happens? You're away for, was it 10 days?
I was 2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks?
It was. I'm pretty sure it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, because I got your date coming back wrong.
Yeah. You came to pick me up early, and I'm sitting eating breakfast with someone that I'd met there, and I'm like,
when are you getting off
late.
the flight? I said, but when are you getting off the
I thought I
flight?
missed
And
my
you're like,
flight.
what? I'm like, when are you getting off the flight? Because we're here. And you're like,
I was so
oh,
scared.
I've missed my flight.
I
And then
was
it's like,
so
no,
scared.
Naya, I didn't miss my flight. You're just a day early at the airport waiting like a complete.
I was, for literally about 5
donut.
minutes, my heart panicked. I was checking sins and I was looking at the date, and I'm like, but obviously because we're like nearly how many hours
ahead,
earlier?
yeah, it's all confusing.
I was just like, I just don't understand what's happened. But
So you go and you get back. And at what point did you have your profound moment of transition in this is the trip that changed the course of my life?
it was about a week in.
About a week.
About a week in, I kind of settled into the fact, like, I started settling into the fact of the time zone difference. I wasn't as on edge that I had to speak to them, not every single day. Jermaine had it under control. I was here. I didn't even, at this point, I didn't want to speak to them every day because I started realizing that it was hard.
Yeah.
And it wasn't only hard on me, it was hard on
them.
Callie as well. Because she was like, Mummy, where are you when you coming home? And I'm like, that guilt. Like, and then it was one time that he called me. I think it might have been 3 days in. He messaged me and was like, Callie's crying. I woke up in the morning. I think I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning crying because he had told me that she was crying.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of thought to myself, right, this is my experience right now. And I can either let them control me over there or take control. And I felt like this was the first time, this can sound so weird, but it felt like the first time in my life that I had to control control everything myself, because I'm the one that I will go on holiday and I'll be like, guys, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
What are we doing today? What
Rolling
are we doing
with
today?
the punches.
Yeah. Whereas I was like, what am I doing today? And I'm like, okay, so I'm going online and I'm Googling, what is here around me? What can I do? I'm just going for random walks. I'm finding things. And I was like, wow.
So for me, it's like, yeah, you've taken yourself, you're thousands of miles away. Your kids at home crying, saying, where's my mum? I want her back home. You've decided, look, I can't deal with that. There's actually nothing I can do anyway because I'm all the way over here. Not coming home. I'm not coming home tomorrow. So you kind of got to get on with it. Like, what advice do you give to mums that suffer with mum guilt over the smaller things? Like that's extreme. You've gone on a massive trip. Your kid's gonna miss you.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious. But what about the ones where mum's got to put their child in morning club, school, then after school club. By the time they've got home, they're just too shattered to even talk to their kid about their day. And then they go to bed feeling that, man, I'm missing out. Like, how do you spread that over? Like, how do you encourage someone to say, look, it's okay to, find your own self, and you kind of are always going to feel a bit guilty.
Do you know what you are? That's it. You are going to feel guilty. There's no choice. And do you know what I've been saying? I guess I feel like I've been talking about mumhood a lot recently. And you are this, before you have a child, you're just this woman. You get to wake up, you get to leave your house, you get to wipe your ass without thinking of anyone else. Like, you get up and you're like, oh, I need to get something from the shop. And you walk out.
And you just go.
And then you have a child and you become a mum. And you're proud to be a mum. So every time you introduce yourself, someone says, oh, introduce yourself. Yeah, I'm a mum. It's the first thing you say, I'm a mum. Oh, and I do this.
The first thing
I'm a mum.
say.
I'm a mum. Is that, I know, no, but you're an
It's
exception.
the first thing that a lot of people say, but then again, I'm one of them people that put my kid in my biography on Instagram.
Yeah, like I'm a mum, so I don't need to put that out there. But most women that you talk to be like,
you're right,
I'm a mum, I do this, but I'm a mum.
100%.
Then your child goes to nursery and school, and the teachers refer to you as mum.
Yeah.
The other schools like Kizzy's mum,
yeah,
Callie's mum. So you're mum for such a long period of time that you kind of forget yourself. So you have to remember who you are. That's the only thing you can do. You have to remember. And what I say to a lot of mums, I'm like, introduce what you do before you introduce your mum.
Yeah.
And the other day I was having an interview with someone, and they said introduce yourself, and I listed off a whole load of stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, and I'm a mum.
To put a sprinkle on
like,
Yeah, that's just
Some
showing off, though,
babe
Dan.
shit.
That is just showing off. So
But
for anyone that's
literally.
listening, everyone that's listening, because it is really rude of me, because I've just thrown you on like, yeah, this is my bestie. Tell everybody what it is that you actually do. What do you do for work? You're an entrepreneur. You have shares in Bingy's boutique. You know, you do a little bit of
You
management
make it
over
sound.
here.
You make it sound me sounding
Yeah,
even saucier.
Yeah, you know, what do you do?
So, I am a master upcycler.
Master. Yep.
I upcycle clothing to keep the world sustainable because the world's going to shit. Um, and I just basically make something out of nothing. So, you know,
And you're a tailor.
I'm a tailor, designer,
Photographer. Right. Has anybody
photographer.
seen Coming to America when the girls in the
Oh, God.
there's a girl in it's the bit where they're in the nightclub
Yeah.
and Eddie Murphy is basically interviewing all of his queens and the girl says, I'm a
Oh,
movie
yeah,
star,
yeah.
I'm an actress, I'm a dancer, and then I'm gonna
A makeup
star in my own
artist.
I'm a makeup artist, and then I'm gonna star in my own movies, and then I'm gonna be in the
Yeah,
movies, then I'm gonna
yeah.
produce the movies. That is basically you, Dan. You
Basically.
you juggle a lot of balls.
Yeah.
And
Well-
well, we will talk about that. But we need to talk about that on another podcast. But you juggle and you make it look really effortless and you make it look really, really easy. And I think that sometimes because you make it look so easy, people don't realize that for however big the smile is, there is a day in the week when sometimes you can be quite sad,
Yeah.
you know, and it's not sad like, oh my God, I'm depressed. It's just, I'm having a low day.
Yeah.
Like we have both been on FaceTime with each other and it's just not a great day. And then you hear the knock, knock, knock and the mom, and then it's, shut up, leave me alone. Like, and I feel
Literally.
like I've heard you do that with your kids before I was a mum. So by the time I had Kizzy and I felt myself doing it, I've seen you look at me and laugh like, because it's just unrealistic for
Yeah.
anyone to imagine that you could be this beacon of positivity and be in a great space 24/7. It's humanly impossible. You know, and I think the point is that that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're on your journey of trying to find out who you are and what you're doing, whatever route or road you take, it's okay to have low days as well as to have high days. And I think that when you're a mum, new mum, old mum, whatever the mum is, it's like you kind of want the best for your kids, and then sometimes you forget that it's really important to want the best for yourself.
It's so important.
Because most often or not, when you have mum and dad's out there beasting. He's trying to be this financially stable, incredible superhero to his kids. He's out, he's working. Yeah, hope he's out there, and he doesn't lose self because that is already him.
Yeah.
Whereas with mum, it's like, okay, but you're at home, you're nurturing for a period of time before you can make those steps back into the real world.
Yeah.
Even if you take 3 months off, it's 3 months you're behind everyone else.
Yeah.
3 months that you're not in the same meetings that, you know, all the other people are in. It's 3 months that you're not creating content, that you're not sewing, you're not doing stuff. It's months out of your life, which ultimately give us a setback.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes you just look like, I feel like even when you're in the industry, like we was talking about this the other day, you're building and then you see someone else do something or get something that you think, oh, I wanted that.
Yeah.
That would have been great for me. And then you feel a bit broken because you feel like, but I'm trying. And then you say, but what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Why is that not happening for me? And then the conversation led to, yeah, but it's great.
Yeah.
Because if someone's gone before you and it's working for them, it means eventually it is going to work for you. And it's just going to probably come in a different way.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that those lessons for mums are really, really important because everyone's speed is different. You know, I was talking to one of my friends and she was talking to me about her business and how long it took her to actually pop off. And when we actually broke it down, it was about 10 years. And it's like, it didn't feel like that.
No one sees
it.
it.
It's 10 years worth of work. And once you have a child, you have a small setback because it's, you know, like, and if you're anything like me, I had the worst pregnancy going.
Oh, I was there.
I was a dragon. Like, I'm really apologise. If anyone met me while I was pregnant, I probably cussed you out. I was very unhappy, hated it, didn't like being fat. Was really, really, I just did not like it one bit. There was not one bit of the
But
pregnancy.
you did look amazing.
But looking amazing and feeling amazing is two different things.
You
like
got battered from the inside.
I got battered. Yeah, I did. I had internal bruising, external bruising, and my stomach was black where Kizzy had kicked me so much. I couldn't even
I've
sleep.
never even seen that before in my whole life.
Yeah, I know that the nurse said it. I was like, why is my stomach black? She's like, ooh, external bruising. I was like, external? My man ain't beating me. Shit. She's like, no, the baby is kicked. I was like, nah, are
I've
you
never
serious?
seen that before you.
Yeah, so I just feel like, you know, you lose those months. Some mums lose those months. Some mums don't.
Yeah.
And they have great pregnancies. Like you. You made pregnancy look like,
I love
you look like
pregnancy.
fucking Mary Poppins on crack when you
I
was pregnant.
love being
Oh, I'm
pregnant.
glowing. Oh, cold love of water.
was, like,
oh, it's
skipping through the
amazing.
fields.
And then go and give birth and just fart and your child drops out. Like, it's that. And that's not a joke.
I know.
No,
Do you know how many
explain it.
people cussed me afterwards? Like, you said it was easy, and I'm like,
Yes, you did. You did say it was easy. You coughed and gave birth. I was there.
Basically.
Like, no, it was a very, very different experience to what you had had. However, the aftermath of it, although it wasn't how I thought it was going to be, the aftermath was amazing.
yeah.
And then being able to remember what you was doing at the same stage what I was doing gave me great encouragement, because it's like you'd come to work with Callie in a buggy and she's sitting there not even being able to, well, she took her first steps in the office.
That was amazing.
Took her,
I
and
saw
then,
that the
and
other
then we
day.
said she can't come back now because once they walk,
Once they walk, they start reaching.
Once they walk, they are not allowed back
I
at
remember
work.
I actually feel like I felt kind of sad that day because I was like,
It's my last.
Until
Yeah,
she's
it's
in
on my last
school.
day until she goes to until she gets some real childcare going on.
innit?
But yeah, it's just like your journey is really inspirational, and I think that it's like sometimes people look for the Oprahs and the Beyoncés of the world, which are like, oh my god, they're inspiring, they're doing amazing, but there are so many people around us and like that we have that we can look to and draw amazing inspiration from.
Yeah.
And you're definitely one of them. You know, I think that you do really make it look easy. So I know that you're Miss Positive Patsy, I'll call you. How do you install the same, you know, your same beliefs and the same positive outlook? How do you transfer that to your children? Oh no, can I just say one thing? So you obviously we've done pictures for ages. I always remember when Callie was born, Callie looked miserable. She was not smiling. She was smiling.
She
in
was
those
resting
pictures.
bitch face.
She was like this, and I remember thinking, oh man. And I remember when Kizzy was born, same thing, man. The child wouldn't smile for ages. I was thinking, God done this to me. Because when Callie was there, I was like, man, she don't even smile.
Yeah.
And then it happened to me.
But
Proper
then
resting bitch face.
they're the happiest kids.
Then it just changes.
Yeah.
It changes. But yeah, sorry, I digress. But tell me how. Tell me how you do that, because you have quite a good momentum going with the kids. And how do you? What is your thing? How do you get it done? How do you install into them the affirmations and all of that type of stuff?
One thing I do is every day. So obviously, Caden's big boy takes himself to school.
Big
and
man,
big man.
Can't even say my man's name.
And before he says he comes, he says, "Bye, mum, give me a kiss," and I'm just like, "Yeah, be magnificent, amazing, be the best version of yourself." And I might have to cuss him a little bit as well. Like, and when you come home, make sure you pick up the teeth. But it's just, I literally, as he walks out the door and as Callie goes to school, like we do, I'm like, say basically the same thing to her. Sometimes it changes slightly, but I would be like, be the best you can be. And sometimes I might be like, be kind. One time she said, but I am kind. I said, well, why did you pick up on that and nothing? I said, be amazing and magnificent as well. What are you trying to say? But I tell them that, but everything that, you know, when they say be the more of what you want to see in the world.
Yeah,
I do that at home, so they see that, and it's just eventually, not even eventually, you can only be as your environment is.
Yeah, you're a product of your environment.
You're a product of your environment. So, pom.
Brings back memories. It's a private joke, guys. We're gonna go in the bag. So we got a lot of topics in here that we're gonna go through, and I want to pull out at least 5. Otherwise, Elizabeth will be very angry about all of our hard work.
Are we pulling out any more drinks?
Yeah, yes, we can. Can we get Daniella extra bit of prosecco? Oh, Elizabeth, what was your favorite childhood book? These questions are killing me. Oh, do you know what? I know what my favourite childhood book was. Yeah, it was a book called Pong Whiffy, and it was about a stinky witch. And I remember I never actually read it all the way to the end, but the cover was purple, and purple was my favourite colour. And I was like, I really want this book. Yeah, it was a book called Pong Whiffy. And then Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. But that's only because I had to read it at secondary school.
Yeah.
That's the only book I ever read. I was a really bad reader. Still am.
I did read a lot, but I don't actually remember. The only books I remember is the Meg books with the skeletons.
No, I don't remember that.
It's annoying me. This keeps making noise.
Is Disneyland really worth it? 100 million%. But you have to drink lots of Bacardi, not Bacardi. What's my drink? Brandy and Red Bull, and it really keeps
get
you going
through.
to get through. Yeah,
I've never been.
I went. Not last year, the year before. Was it last year? When did I go? 2 years ago. And Kizzy's really offended by this because she really wants to go to Disneyland. And I said, but look at the picture on the wall. You've already been. There's a picture of you.
Well,
And
she
she,
don't
I don't remember.
Oh, bless
And then
her.
I said, neither do I. Because I drank myself into an oblivion. No, Disneyland is definitely worth it. But yeah, I just think.
Imagine.
But you need to
I
go
could
with
take
I
'em.
think you need to go with adult friends as well as kids.
Yeah.
Because then you get a little bit more.
Because I would get
out of
dressed
it.
up. I'd do the whole thing, Avi. I'd make ears, different
Yeah,
outfits.
you made me costumes. You made Kizzy had a little matching
did,
all in
didn't
one
I?
to me,
Yeah.
pink. Yeah. When I look now, I'm
So
like, what were you
amazing.
doing? Pathetic. I just stick to black. What was I
God.
thinking? But
Yeah,
no,
I've
but
never been.
Disneyland is definitely worth it. Okay, so Dan,
Mm.
as an entrepreneur, you live by an invoice. You know, we don't cut pay slips like we used to.
I know.
What is a top tip for managing yourself and your children when not knowing how much money you're going to make each month? How do you cultivate that?
God, I don't think I'm the one to answer this particular question.
No, but there's no wrong answer.
I mean, this is what I would like to say is a good idea. It's just really like everything that you've always taught me, because you've taught me a lot. Like, no, you have, like, when, especially with money jars and
Okay.
stuff like that, but also just writing things down, knowing what's due to come out, and sorting out that before that, but just putting money aside so that you can do fun things with your children.
Yeah.
But also it's very important to teach them from young, because we know better, so we need to do better.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think a lot of people are scared to really take accountability over the fact of, I don't know what I'm doing with my money. I have no clue. Don't open many letters. Just ride the wave and hope
No,
everything's going to
Do
be
you know
okay.
what? I saw a meme the other day and it said, as an adult, just know that any letter you open isn't good news.
Yeah.
And I was right here.
Listen,
literally.
it's facts, but this is it's something that I think, especially when you're a mum and you are juggling lots of balls, I think I'm at the stage now where I'm figuring out how can I outsource those things that I don't really like doing, so that it still gets done and I'm not being irresponsible, but at the same time I'm not having to stress myself out in doing something that I'm not really keen on. I hate opening letters. So with the Tied Ass Mum company, we are trialing out TAM assistants, which are, it's kind of like, think about having Uber, but it's for mums. So you order a mum, she turns up and she can do whatever assisting jobs you want her to do in your house. So we're trialing it, and I trialed it out for 4 weeks already, and the mums that partook love it, didn't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because she was one of the trials. But I didn't actually get a chance to trial it myself because I didn't want to. I thought I would love it anyway. So, anyway, it's my first week trialing, and I really, really, really loved it. I got my TAM assistant to open all the letters, sort them into piles, which ones could be shredded. She shredded a black bag full of stuff that came through the door that just had no relevance.
Yeah.
And then there was a few things that were like, oh God, didn't know that, like a couple parking things that slipped through the net. But it was like a breath of fresh air to know that the job got done.
Yeah.
I didn't physically have to do it. I'm still being responsible. And for not much cost, you know? And I think that sometimes as mums, we just need to hand out the job to somebody else if we're just too scared to do it. And opening letters for me is a fear thing. I think from when I was younger, it was very much like, I think I've got that from my mom. I just didn't want to open the letters, the brown letters, getting very scared.
Yeah,
It's
just the brown letters.
I'm really, what is happening? And it's like, but come on, I don't owe anyone anything. I've paid all my bills. Why are you so scared to open the letters?
True.
Maybe 10 years ago, I was just, going bawling out crazy. I'm hiding from everyone, not trying to pay TV license. But no, it's like, I'm an adult. I'm responsible. I pay my way. So this should... Trying to get that fear of opening letters off of me is really, really strange. So I think for me, offloading jobs is really, really, really important. And I think for any mum that's out there, but I think what I'm quite fortunate is you've always helped me a lot. So you've helped me out doing things that I weren't really too keen at, and I think maybe what mums should do is when they're in a circle of mums is share that responsibility and say, look guys, I'll come in and I'll give you an hour doing a job that you don't want, because when you do a job for someone else, it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me to come and sort out your stuff, I'm like, yep, you do that, swish, roll, splash, tram.
Yeah.
And
no,
then when
when I
it's
was
the
moving.
spotlight, wait, no, that was, well, let's not talk about when you was moving. Danielle was most organised, unorganised, hoarding, thrift store shopping, collecting. It's like, it's insane. It's insane. I took Dean. Dean's my fiance. And I said, we got to go and help Dan move because she's moving tomorrow or whenever it was. And we've gone down there and he said, what? Nothing's packed. But it's Dan. He said, but there's nothing's packed, Naya. I said,
there was a few things, man.
There was a few things, but the majority was still living. But again, it goes to support, you know, sharing the load to your network and just help it, having people that can pick up where you don't shine. I don't shine in every area.
It is very hard to ask for help because I think what it is with a lot of people, it means that you're admitting you're not good enough, but you're kind of admitting that I don't know what it is. Maybe it feels like a fail. I'm not, you know this, I'm not good at asking for help. And there's something I want to work with.
Yeah, it's very true. You're not very direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, I just hold this heavy thing by myself and die.
But it's the truth.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like that.
I know, but then you have to think to yourself, like, well, what do you want to install in your children? Do you want them to struggle and carry a monkey on their back by themselves? Or do you want them to say, excuse me, can someone help me out here because I can't manage?
And I think that helps. I think you, with a lot of stuff, you have to think, my kids are watching.
Yeah. And they're watching and they're learning. Yeah, they're learning so much. So, yeah, it's really important. I'm going to go back to the bag.
Yeah.
Before you finish all the Prosecco. There are loads in here. Please, God, let this be a spicy one.
Was there any about nothing?
Ooh. What have you said to your kids that you wish you hadn't? Well, I don't wish I hadn't, but I do feel bad after I said it. Bog off! Leave me alone. Let me take a shit in peace. Crying out loud. And then they say, yeah, but leave me! That I feel awful. Yeah, it's after that one. And then after that last, you know, the high pitch one that comes out and then you feel sick because you're like, oh, why did I take it there?
Do you know, I have done crazy with them and I'm like, everyone leave me alone.
Have you?
And then you go, okay. Okay, cool.
Have you ever shut yourself in the bathroom? This is really a common thing that mums do.
Yeah. Shut myself in the bathroom. I have a lock on my door. Like on the inside.
Your bedroom door?
Yeah. I'm joking. But yeah, I've just slid it across and Callie's like, Mummy, please let me in. And I'm like, can I just sit here in a moment? Are you my friend? Because I've done it because she annoyed me. But do you know what? Okay. For everyone that thinks I'm an amazing mum, I have swore.
You swore your kids?
I swore at my kid like, fuck off.
I'm not there yet.
Awful.
I can see it coming. Do you know what? But I remember
it was the big one.
Was it the
big one?
Yeah, he deserves it. Then
he deserved it.
I remember when I was younger, and do you remember back in the day, you used to have the house phones were like in one place. And I remember my mum was on the phone, and for some reason, whenever my mum got on the phone, it was time for me and my sister to kick off.
Oh yeah.
So then I'm like, anyway, she's on the phone, and then we're on. Boom. We're onto it. We're onto it. And she's like, you know, she said to us, I'm like, yeah, and then we come back round, and then she's gone, and she's like that. Yeah, I love it. And then anyway, she must have thought that was going to be the shocker. Like, I don't know what camera I'm looking at, but it was one of these. And then anyway, so we're laughing, and we've come back round the corner. As I've come back round the corner, wham! What the fuck happened to me? And my mum never beat us. I never ever got a beating. But that clip to the nose, oh my days. You know, you feel like, I fucked up, man. So I always remember that for the rest of my life. So I feel like kids will push it until you let them. They need the smackdown sometimes. I never fucked with my mum when she was on the phone again.
Yeah.
Ever. Period. Never done it. Stayed away. Mum's on the phone. Me, I'm ghost. Because we came around the corner. Because I came around the corner. My sister's younger than me, so she's behind me like, wow. It was a killer. But I know, like, sometimes, you know, there's this big thing at the moment, like, especially with this, you know, kids have their rights and, you know, they're not allowed to smack the kids and stuff. And I feel like sometimes you just need a clip around the ear. Like, honestly, like Kizzy was misbehaving the other day so badly. She's doing this tantrum thing at the moment where if she doesn't get her own way, she's stamping. She's just kicking off, screaming. So I said, okay. And I'm trying to practice the, okay, off you go. You don't have to eat your breakfast then. If you don't want to eat, it's your prerogative.
Yeah.
And I won't force her. I'll just let her starve. So I'll say, off you go, because you can go for a good couple of days. You got enough body weight on you to go for a couple of days no eating. So if you don't want to eat, don't eat. So I've said, all right, bye. She's, so I said, shut the door. So I've shut the door. That's kicked her right off now, because now no one's witnessing the meltdown. So the attention's gone. She's stumped up the stairs. And then I can hear her. Yeah, the stomping's mad. You're 4.5. And then I could hear like, so I'm thinking, wow, her dad's gone up there. She must be moving mad. Like because he must have gone up there.
Yeah.
I've come up. No, he didn't go up there. He was actually outside the house. She's screaming at the top of her voice upstairs, just stamping. So I've gone upstairs. I said, right, you've really taken this too far.
Yeah.
I got her, put her here, pulled her knickers down, and I licked my hand. She went to school and told the story. And I went, smack! And you know when you feel the sting? And she went, ah! And I could see it in her face. Like, what have you done to me? And I said, how dare you? And I just left her and I went downstairs. And I did not feel bad. I felt like you deserved that, yeah? Like the screaming. And then afterwards, and then I digested what happened. And it's like, she went to school and said, my mum hit me. She licked her hand, pulled my knickers down and slapped my naked ass. Like, it does not sound good. But in the moment, it's like, nah, I need to teach you a lesson. And like, this is not, it's the first time I hit her. Like properly. The last time was a few months ago, and I went to hit her and I missed it. It was a fail. You're like, you're like, oh, you're like, she moved or something. It was like, oh, man, I fucked up. But yeah, it's just it's crazy. Like it is just hard to be in control all of the time.
Yeah, like we're human.
Yeah, we are human. And I think you do learn from the experiences you went through, and then you kind of regurgitate on your own kids without even realising it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the punch to the nose was not cool. It was dramatic.
That is mad.
And my mum says that never happened. She's like, that did not happen. Mums have this thing of, I don't know what
my
you're
mum
talking
does
about.
the same thing.
She's like, that didn't happen. I'm like, it did, because I remember it. I remember the 2 fingers, and my mum used to wear so many rings. I remember all the rings. And it was like, and then because she done it so seriously, I think she thought we was going to be petrified, and it was like, you think that's serious? That is serious? It's crazy.
Yeah, no, they don't remember. My mum says that all the time, that never happened. I'm like, remember you used to leave me and Nicola at home? She'd be like, that never happened, Daniella. And I'm like,
it did. And you're not going to get in trouble now. We're very old. All right, let's go. We're going to do one last question out of here. Could you tell me your most special childhood memory with your parents? Before you answer that, it's really funny when you think about childhood memories, because you don't realise that with your own kids, you are churning the special memories out now, and you don't know until they get older what is going to be the everlasting memory for them. What's the thing that they're going to get older and remember and be like, I remember that. I don't know if mine's is a special, but it's special.
what's yours?
One of my fondest memories is, it's funny, is it was my sister's christening, and because obviously I wanted to be the star, I decided I was going to sing. So I sang This Little Light of Mine. Is it This Little Light? I'm going to let it shine. Is that one? Well, it's one of them songs I sang. And I remember I went to sing, and my mum and her best friend were standing there, and they laughed at me while I was singing. Uncontrollable laughing. My heart was like, you know when you're laughing at someone, and then the thing is, I could see them laughing, and I wanted to cry because they were laughing at me. But I carried on because I thought, nah, this is my time. I'm singing my song. But I always remember it because, I found it, now at the time I didn't find it hilarious. But now, as I'm older, I understand because I see shit when I'm out. It would be us laughing, like, well, look at her, look, and then just laughing your head off, like. So yeah, it maybe not the most kindest memory, but for me, it was just great character building as well.
Yeah.
Because I persevered, and I thought, you can laugh at me all you want, but I'm singing this song at my sister's christening, okay?
And then you became a singer as well.
And then, that's a whole nother story. 'Cause my mom told me I was tone deaf, don't bother.
Parents.
Mom was like, you need to get a job. And I was like, I want to be an actress and a singer and all this type of stuff. She's like, yeah, nah, you're tone deaf and you've got really big hands, so stay away from the modelling.
Yeah, parents got to be easy with the.
No, but you know what? I think that it's not a bad thing because look at the generation that are coming up now. You could blow on them and they fall.
Oh yeah. But they're literally there's 2 totally different extremes. There's some of them they're like, oh no, fuck off then. Yeah. Like, they either care too much or they don't care at all.
Yeah, you're right. Right. So yeah, I don't believe. I think in the harsh critique is beautiful. If I can take it for, I knew like I've heard stuff from my mum. So when I go out there, if anyone tells me I'm shit, it's like tell me something I don't know. No?
I'm still
I'm
here
still
though.
here.
How?
Yes, I don't think it's that detrimental. So
Mm.
what's yours?
Okay, so this is again really weird. Is I don't remember I don't have a lot of memories. Being a child, I don't know why. Like one time, I had to say to myself, "What happened to you?
Am I suffering?
Why
trauma?
you don't? Yeah,
Am I hiding this all in a piece of my mind?
exactly. Like, am I gonna go to therapy? Then all of a sudden, I'll
It's
be
all
like,
gonna
I
come
remember.
unleash the dragon. Unleash
I
the
don't.
dragon.
Yeah, there's certain things that I'm just like I remember my sister getting chicken pox. I remember waking up one morning. I'm like, what's that on your face? But she's. I'm like, well, I never had it. She said, you did. I remember. Then I asked mum. She's like, I don't know. Like literally, second child syndrome is real. My mum remembers nothing of what I went through, so I don't remember it. But one thing I do remember is I remember her communion and my communion, and my mum made both of our communion dresses, and I remember her making Nicholas, and I was like, oh, what about me? It's not my day.
So you didn't have your Holy Communion at the same time?
No.
Separate.
So my mum made me a dress. So she made me this beautiful dress, and I just remember feeling like a princess
Aw.
because I had a special dress. And I remember going and saying, "My mum made my dress. My mum made my dress. No one gives a shit about you. It's Nicholas Day." But and then dancing, all the kids dancing to Michael Jackson's Thriller, and us being on the floor. Dun, 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 dun. So whenever I hear that song, it reminds me of my sister's party. But,
your sister's party where you tried to upstage her because you had your own dress made, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds about right, Danielle.
Yeah,
it really does sound. It sounds like you. Okay, cool. So, you are co-parenting.
Yeah.
So you're a single mum, but not single because you're co-parenting. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think some men take offense to that. If you say, "Are you a single mum?" or "You're a single woman," because there's a difference.
I'm a single woman then.
Yeah, because if you
So all the single men out there, holla.
just www.danielladawkins.com/taking bookings tonight. She has a lock on her bedroom door. It's safe. So you would describe yourself as a single woman over a single mum because you are co-parenting with their dad. So their dad has them and you have them. So you have synergy. So you're not totally on your own.
Yeah. To be honest, I've never overthought about single woman, single mum, but I guess I could if I care to.
Yeah, I don't think women think about it. I think it's a man thing. Yeah, I've seen it on social media before where they're like, can men who look after their kids when they have separated from from the mum, can them women stop saying they're single parents if they are looking after the kids? Because really, even though they're not living in the same house, they're kind of not single parents if they're funding, but be it finance, labour, they're showing up, they're in their children's lives.
I hear that.
Then you're not really a single parent, but you are a single woman.
Yeah.
Which means you're running your household, your finances, you're doing all that stuff by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there is a little bit of a difference. And I think I would probably take offence if me and Dean broke up and he's like, yeah, I'm a single dad. I'd be like, I'm a single dad.
What?
Does this? Do you understand what I mean? Even if we had them one week, it's like we're sharing.
Yeah.
So, so just talk to me about how do you find that? You're raising a boy who's gonna basically a young man now, and you're raising a daughter. How does the dynamic from being in a family environment to then being in a single woman environment, how did that change? What kind of changes came in from that, and how did that affect the kids? Did it affect them how was it a positive thing, or do you know what I mean? Did they miss how it used to be?
Yeah.
Because some people are in relationships and they're really scared to separate because in fear of messing up the children, where sometimes it's actually a benefit.
Do you know what? Caden, a couple, maybe the beginning of summer, he said to me, Mum, I noticed since you and Dad haven't been together, I don't know, COVID has fucked everything up. Don't know when.
A little while ago,
he said, Mum, I noticed how much happier you and Dad are now you're not together. That was it for me.
So that was just, you've done the right thing.
I know I've done the right thing.
Yeah.
And I just feel like like you said, some parents stay together for the kids. And the kids aren't even happy because they know everything. They feel it. Energy is real. Like the energy when you walk in the house and just you're not happy, no one's happy, everyone's moody. It's like, They feel that. They see all of that.
Yeah.
And for me, it was nice for Cadence to say that because I know that I'm happier and then obviously that was like a cosign that his dad's happier, and
Yeah.
I only want people to be happy. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to
true.
be the cause of someone's pain or hurt.
Yeah. I think it is, in an ideal world, it's nice, mum, dad, kids, all in one house.
mm,
However, what is nicer is happy people in one house
yes,
thriving.
yeah,
And I think that sometimes that is forgot while the gel is trying to be cemented and just let's just stay together just until the kids get to a certain age, and
Yeah.
then it'll be fine. Where
Let's hate
energy
each
don't
other.
lie. Yeah, it's tough.
yeah.
So how do you manage the kids now? Now that they're in they have week, is it a week basically?
Yeah, it's like Tuesday. He has them Tuesday to Sunday every
Okay.
other week, and yes.
And how do you organize that? Like, how does it look like? How do you? Okay, so like when if Callie gets homework and stuff, how does that? Do you know what I mean? How does that
Yeah.
translate? Where do you document all of this? Where is
So the school, like just after COVID, they were getting everything was online.
Mhm.
So we both had the logins,
Okay.
and so I would like to say that I don't get involved because I'm like, they're with you this week. It's got nothing to do with me. But obviously at the same time, I don't want my kid to fail. So there were times I'd be like, remember, she's got
Okay.
homework. Remember.
So would you do
this.
that like WhatsApp and just texting and stuff?
Yeah, I just WhatsApp him and say, remember this, remember that. And yeah, same with Kate. If anything happens with Kate at school, if he doesn't, he has a no homework or whatever, I get the messages to say Caden's had a detention or do that. So I might message him after the second one, be like, listen, talk to the boy.
Oh, okay, because you're getting it
Because,
while he's okay.
Yeah, so Jermaine doesn't get the messages. And so yeah, I'll just message him and say, sort this out, X, Y, and Z. And or talk to him or tell Kay to call me when he gets in because he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. And and I guess it works most of the time. And I think, yeah, that works for us. Like just
Okay.
kind of keeping and just letting each other know. I do find that when Callie's with him, I don't get as much feedback. So am I extra or is he just kind of like too chill?
Yeah.
So
Gotta try and meet in the middle a little
yeah, but and at the moment she's getting her homework in her bag. Like they're back to
Staffing
giving
it up.
paper at the moment.
Okay.
So go for a bag. Remember to go through
for
her
her bag.
bag and make sure you sign her reading
Yeah, that's the
record.
funny thing though. It's like when the kids get in, dad generally doesn't go in the bag at all until the next day. And then it's like, oh, this isn't it.
Yeah.
I think that's a man thing.
I got a call from the school to say, oh yeah, Callie's got after school club. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, yeah, we gave you a letter last week. And I'm like, oh, she was with her dad last week.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know.
So I look like a dickhead, innit? Like, don't piss me off. Like, but and that's the only thing. It's
But
just
I think
like,
that's
not
just
knowing.
that just is maybe a solution waiting to happen. It's
Mhm.
just like synergy,
Yeah.
working it out and figuring out what works best. And
Yeah.
then after that, you'll be able to slide into a groove. You know what I mean? Because the groove is grooving.
Yeah.
It just needs tweaks, but everything needs tweaks as we evolve.
Yeah.
So it's pretty normal.
Yeah, because at the same time, something needs to happen and be addressed before you find a solution to it. So, like,
Yeah.
with the letters, like every so often I might be like, "I'll remember to let me know the letters," but most of the time, if the school call, I'm just like, roll eyes.
Yeah.
Then he needs to tell me next time. But I haven't said, oh, just to let you know, Jermaine, remember to message me when they check Callie's bag every day.
Midnight. Yeah.
And you know,
So again, that goes back to what you were saying earlier on in the conversation. You were saying sometimes you don't be direct enough in enforcing information
yeah,
so that you can get a better result.
I need to work.
You need to work on that.
I need
Yeah.
to.
But, we're evolving. I'm
Yeah.
sure it will work itself out. Well,
Yeah.
Daniella, master upcycler,
Woo, woo, woo.
DIFA designer,
Yes,
makeup artist, photographer,
Mumpreneur.
mumpreneur, single woman.
Tell your daddy to page me.
She's saying slide in her DMs. It's been
Only if
absolutely.
you're coming with some
Oh no,
sense.
you like it anyway, Danielle. Don't try it. Yeah, everyone can slide, but not everyone can really slide. No, okay, sorry. I've got one last question for you before we go.
Oh my God, I'm nervous. I'm sweating.
Okay,
Okay,
you
go
ready? Daniela, can you take a shit in peace?
Absolutely not.
Well, you're one of us then. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again on the next one. Peace.